Converse don't fit my feet anymore. These are kind of tight.
Is it just hot right now?
People told me that after you have a baby, your feet are larger.
Sometimes they go back.
It does that too.
My foot got smaller. I know. But none of my shoes fit, so I had to buy all new shoes. So that wasn't fun.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
Jenny.
Welcome to another episode of Yeah, No, I Know. But before we get started, a little disclaimer. Nothing in this podcast is being claimed as fact. Most everything discussed here are our own individual, personal opinions, beliefs, and experiences. We encourage you to always do your own research and form your own opinions. Nothing one person says on this podcast goes for everyone here. Each individual speaking is speaking only for themselves and no one else on the podcast. Now that that's out of the way, let's get started.
Okay.
Somebody kick us off.
Welcome back. We are gonna do another pop culture one today.
Ow!
But not too pop culture-y.
This is like a yeah, no, we don't know.
Yeah, it's
like just kind of what's going on, and here's what we sort of think about it, and want to see what you guys have to think.
Yeah.
So the first thing that I was following recently that we can touch on is the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess a quick little thing, if you weren't really following that, is
Nope.
he was countersuing her, or I think countersuing. Yeah, no, I don't know, but countersuing her for $50 million for defamation of character because she wrote like a piece about him, but didn't name him by name, and he said it hurt his reputation. And he basically said, whether I win this or lose, the damage has already been done. This is already all attached to my name, which I can totally relate to, because when you have like drama and you're an influencer, it lives on the internet forever and it doesn't go anywhere, whether it's true or not. People believe it, or, you know. And so I felt for him there. And so he actually won the trial, and I loved watching that. And I just loved how many women have stepped forward to like basically go against Amber Heard and basically say, like, just because you're a woman doesn't mean you can say whatever the fuck you want, and like we're all gonna back you and believe you. Like, you are a liar. And she was caught lying in a bunch of different cases. He was awarded $15 million, I think, out of the $50 million, and she was awarded like $2 million, I think. Don't quote me, but I am just curious what you guys think about that. Were you guys following it? Do we like Amber Heard? Do you think she's going to make a comeback? I don't think that she's coming back from this for a very, very long time.
Never even heard her name before this. So
she was in Aquaman.
I'd seen her before, but I didn't know who she was. She definitely has made her name.
Right.
Who was she in Aquaman?
The guy from or she was with the red hair in it. Was it? And, yeah. And when I saw her in that, I was immediately bummed because I already didn't like her, because she like pledged to donate, I think it was $13 million or something like that, to charity, and she didn't. She only donated a small amount of it. And if you watch all the footage back from the trial, Johnny Depp's lawyer was like, "Did you donate the money?" And she was like, kept dancing around it. Was like, "Well, I pledged to, and I'm gonna." And she's like, "No. Did you donate it yet?" And she basically was like, "No." So and the TikToks are so funny. There's like, she like was telling a story, and like she's such a bad actress, honestly. Like everything that like all of like
the way she kept looking at the jury when she would talk was so ingenuine. It was cringy to watch.
Could you imagine being like a juror on that, like getting picked for that
awesome.
Trial?
That I would love.
Oh, see,
I think I'm too strong in my views and opinions and judgmental that, not judgmental, I guess, towards negative things.
No,
I would never be.
Yes.
Yeah, I would never be picked for a juror, I don't think.
Yeah,
it doesn't go off of anything but who voting. It's like random. You'd have to be.
No, haven't you watched The Lincoln Lawyer? Mm-mm. You should watch it. It's really good.
Is it a show?
It's a show. It's pretty new on Netflix, and they show the process for how a jury is selected.
Oh, how
it's
is
more
it?
than that. It's more like the show is really good. But basically the two attorneys, and I'm assuming, I don't know, but I'm assuming this is how it is in real life, how they depict it on the show. But they show the two attorneys you only have so many people that you can dismiss, basically, so many opportunities to dismiss. And it's very psychological. They're like, okay, well, this person was married to a police officer, so she's going to be, you know, pro police, so we don't that's not good for the defense, and so we're going to dismiss her. We don't want her as a juror. You know,
that's
so
when it goes to trial. Like,
Interesting.
they do that, right?
yeah, well, this went to trial, right?
No, I know.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I don't know.
Interesting. So yeah, I was watching a couple things about like, is she gonna have a career again or anymore? And some people are like, everyone loves like a comeback story or like a, you know, like so they think that she's gonna like make a comeback at some point. But I just can't stand her, and I think she's just forever gonna be known as. There's just TikToks of her being like, "And my dog stepped on a bee," and like everyone was like saying ones that like sentences that rhymed with that. Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of weird, but I just loved that everyone was making fun of her.
Yeah, I just hope that this kind of like, I mean, not to get like too political or anything like that, but I feel like women need to be a little bit more responsible with their words and accusations and things like that. And we've been really quick to jump on the man and, you know, put men down. And
that's what she was hoping for.
Right. And I feel like this is kind of like a wake-up call for women, because I personally know a couple women who I'm not friends with anymore who have said abuse or said rape and fully knew that they weren't, and were doing it to be spiteful, vindictive, thank you,
and take advantage of.
Yeah. And you know what, it's not a card that you get to play. Like it's you're taking it away from the people that it truly has happened to.
I was just about to say that.
There's this whole thing going around too, like where they're called girls that probably like us are called pick-me girls.
What's a pick-me girl?
Oh, well, I think we would be considered pick-me girls.
Ooh.
I watch Brett Cooper. Do you guys watch her?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, love her. But yeah, it's basically like girls who like stick up for men and like tell women when they're doing things wrong and like.
Oh, I'm a pick-me girl.
Yeah.
For me, it's not man or woman.
No.
It's just what's right.
True. Yes.
Right, but
True.
they'll
Give a fuck.
see it like that. Like
I
other
see.
people see it like that. If you're not
I
like
see.
immediately a girl's girl
Their
or
perspective.
immediately like have the girl side without like.
You're not like diehard feminist.
Right. That's my take on it. Maybe I'm wrong, but like that's what I got from it. But yeah,
It's awful. Like, how could you like side with one just knowing
just
the
based off their
specific-
gender.
Based off their gender.
I feel like that goes against everything
Yeah.
that feminists are trying to
Right.
do.
that's like racism, but like when preferential to sex.
right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's not
like,
okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I just hope that this like makes us all a little more accountable for our actions and our words,
Yeah.
male or female.
Yeah, totally.
Well, and I think what it does too, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's opened up this new kind of conversation of like, it's not just men who abuse women.
Right.
It is like, and that's what you're saying, like, it is women who abuse men. And so
Yeah.
we were watching, you know, me and my good murder shows, we were watching a murder show literally last night. And I think it was on Hulu, and it was like, I don't remember. Anyways, but it was about this man who shot his wife, and it was really sad. It was right in front of their child. But when you watch the videos of their home videos,
Oh wait, I know this one.
she's like
She was so abusive.
beating the crap out of him, and like even
watched
got a
that.
baseball bat out and was about to hit him with it. And Andy and I were like, yeah, shoot her. Like,
We said the same thing because we saw that, and like immediately you think, oh, and then you hear and you see the home video of him just getting absolutely abused by this woman.
Yeah.
And
You
you're
can't-
like, yeah, shoot her.
like she freaking deserved it. I mean,
Not that any,
No,
yeah, you know what I
I'm just
mean.
being silly. People, don't overreact.
Yeah, you can't like hit and beat and over and over and over again, and then expect anybody to not be like, okay, back off. Like, I have no doubt that Johnny Depp probably put his hands on her. Like, because I've been in relationships where like it's physical, right? And at some point you're like, get the F off me. And you push back because you're like, I don't want to hurt you. You know what I mean? Not saying that it's abuse or that it's what she said it was, but like, there's no way that that a relationship goes on like that and it's just one-sided for that long. You know what I mean? Like, and again, like, I don't think that it's okay, but I think that they both were probably very toxic to each other. And it
That's
probably,
how I felt
yeah,
too.
it probably had some altercations, and he probably has pushed her off of him because he wants her to stop hitting him. You know what I mean? So, but again, you cannot hit a man repeatedly as a woman and then be like, when they push back, be like, abuse. Like,
Yeah.
You got to be a little accountable for our actions here. You know, we got to hold ourselves accountable too. That's what strong, independent women do.
Right.
That was kind of my take on the Johnny Depp thing. I'm like, he obviously does abuse substances. You can see that in the videos.
Yeah.
Whatever. And you can tell that he is kind of verbally abusive, possibly, and off his rocker a little bit.
Probably gets
Birds of a
scary.
feather.
Like, yeah.
But like she literally like cut the tip of his finger off.
Yeah.
And is saying that he shoved a alcohol bottle up her.
Hoo-ha.
Yeah. And like I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
I hope that's not true.
I don't think it is.
I'm like cringing.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Pretty bad yeast infection there.
No, the alcohol probably cleaned it out.
Oh, well, I guess it depends on if it's beer.
Yeah.
I just don't even think that's even true. No. But anyways, I don't think she's going to work in Hollywood again. I hope she doesn't anyway.
So what's this? I heard that he's suing Disney now. He's coming after Disney.
Oh, because they took him off of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, because of her?
They took him out of the freaking ride in Disneyland. Like,
what?
Johnny Depp is gone out of Pirates of the Caribbean.
What?
Yeah.
I hate Disney right now.
Yeah. I'm like, that dude straight up showed up to Disney to, like, surprise his fans. Like,
this is a good example of, like I was saying with influencer drama and stuff, like, and just in general, like, you can't, like, I watched something the other day, too, where this gamer was, didn't like another gamer that he was gaming with, and he figured out the guy's address and called the police and basically told the police, pretended like he was that kid at that address and said, I just shot my wife and my whole family. The police showed up at the house. The gamer that he was playing against answered the door. Within 6 seconds, the cops pumped him full of lead, like he was dead.
No.
All based on that. It's like, I just can't believe that there's
Whoa, what?
I'm sure there was more to it, why the cops actually, did shoot him. I'm sure they were fearful of their safety, maybe something he did. But it just goes to show you, like, words have a lot of, like, meaning, and just spreading lies can just ruin someone's reputation. And so the fact that Disney, like, moved all that shit out of there without even knowing what was true or not, just based on pressure
I'm
from
gonna fact check
people.
myself real quick, but I'm pretty sure I saw that. So let me just make sure. But yeah,
that's just so crazy.
But I mean, they didn't renew his contract or something like that, right? For Pirates of the Caribbean, like
based on hearsay.
Yeah,
based on something like innocent till proven guilty is, like, unfortunately just not a thing in the U.S. like anymore.
It was a pretty ballsy move for Disney to do so quickly because, like, don't you want to see how much the community loves this man?
Like, they bowed to the mob. There's
Disney
people
is doing
that
a lot of ballsy things right now. They are over in, like, they own Pixar, correct?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I know at Disney California Adventure, they have, like, the Pixar, like, the Toy Story. So I'm assuming. So Disney just came out. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but the new Buzz Lightyear movie has a lesbian kissing scene in it. And I have not seen it. I don't know what it looks like. I don't really care to watch it because, honestly,
why is there a kissing scene in general in a Disney movie?
In a kid movie.
Kids?
In a kid movie.
No.
Like,
no. It doesn't matter if it's lesbian or straight.
No, I mean, well, I don't know. There's a lot. I guess there could be a lot argued about that because I remember in the first Toy Story, I think Woody grabs Mrs. Bo Peep and kisses her. But that's, so I mean, I guess people are like, well, if it's okay for Woody to kiss a girl, it's not okay for, I don't know what the context was, but I just feel like that's not something that belongs in front of children's faces,
The kissing in general, or the fact that it's same sex?
If you're asking my personal view and opinion, the fact that it's same sex. People can come at me and they can hate me all they want for it, but at the end of the day, like, I am a Christian and I'll stand by my morals, my values, my faith, and what I believe in. And if that goes against what the Bible says, I don't think that it should be in a movie, especially in front of kids. It's also like there's no sex scenes in kids' movies. Like, why is there, Yeah,
there should be no sex scenes for sure. Just real quick, Disney dropped Depp from Pirates of the Caribbean franchise over Amber Heard's abuse allegations. So
So that's why he's suing him and coming after him.
Good for him. Like, I'm glad he's standing up for himself. You can't just like lay there and take it over and over and over again while your whole career crumbles in front of you just based on some potential lies that someone spread about you.
Especially how much money that man has made them. Like, come on. Like, that guy's a star.
That's gotta feel like a real stab in the back.
Absolutely. Like, that's so ridiculous. Like, at least wait until the trial's done, but to just publicly put it out there and be like, dropped.
Yeah.
People are so expendable.
People are just afraid. Everyone has to like bow to the mob. Everyone's got to just brands and everything just have to react. If a few people complain and say something, it's got to be true, and they just react.
Yeah.
React quickly. And it's just
what are we
like
teaching people by doing that? Like, okay, so make a big scene, stomp your feet, throw a fit, and we'll do what you want.
Yeah, basically.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've had an issue with that for a while. It's ridiculous.
Anyway,
moving
on. What's our next one? I know we had a few that we wanted
Christina
to cover.
Christina Aguilera wearing a dildo in front of children.
Yeah, that whole thing. What was that?
Yeah, I don't know.
At a concert?
You'll have to put the picture up. A pride parade, if I'm not mistaken.
She was performing.
She was on stage at a pride parade?
Yes.
Or was it like an event?
I don't. I've never been to a pride thing, so I don't know what.
Yeah, I know. We don't know. Let's look it up.
Yeah, I went to Pride, God, I don't know, like maybe 15 years ago in LA. And it was like almost like a
I think Pride 15 years ago was a lot different than it is now.
Maybe. But it was like a Warped Tour.
I went almost 10 years ago.
There was a lot of different stages and like different performers, people singing, people dancing, food trucks, things like that.
Were there kids there?
Not that I remember, no. It was definitely more of like an adult atmosphere.
Yeah.
And there were definite costumes and kind of like they do with Coachella. You know what I mean? It's like you dress a little, the dress is definitely not modest. It's like go-go attire or, you know.
Is there, let me ask, do you know, I don't know if you know this, is there like an age that you have to be to go to Coachella? You have to be 18? I can look it up. Curious. Only reason I'm asking is because it's so we put it out there, like, what do people want to hear about? What do you guys want us to talk about? And someone specifically put like all the kids that were at the pride parades and just that whole like controversial thing. And I'm sure it's not a big surprise where I stand on it. I think it's disgusting that kids are being exposed to any kind of sexuality, and you know, you put that in front of a kid, and I think it's confusing for them, and I just think it's wrong. And like, there was kids, from my understanding, where Christina Aguilera was like wearing a dildo, and
she was at a LA Pride, and all of there's a bunch of websites, like there's 50-50, right? There's like people that are praising her that she's topped herself and blah blah blah. Even if this is an adult event, this is just in bad taste. Like this whole outfit and a dildo strap on, like. What?
She looks like the Green Goblin from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
The Hulk, yeah.
The Hulk.
Let me see. See, that reminds me of Green Goblin from Spider-Man.
That too.
Tobey Maguire, but with a dildo.
A bedazzled dildo, and children were there.
Even if kids weren't there, that's like, why? Why are you wearing a dildo?
I tend to agree.
Sexuality can be celebrated in the bedroom. I don't feel like whatever your sexual preference is, I really don't care. You don't see a bunch of like straight people throwing a parade and like celebrating their sexuality out on the streets. Like, and the reason I was asking about Coachella is like, if you want to do something like that,
it's
maybe
all ages, by the way.
It is. I was saying maybe we make it a festival where it's like 18 and older. So then it's at least a little bit more confined. So it's not just like out there. Like if a kid's, walk in the streets, they don't see this kind of stuff. I don't know. I just saw some really disturbing photos.
Yeah, take all of the, like, whether you agree or disagree, like, gay, straight,
no matter what your orientation is.
Doesn't matter. Like, my view personally is that no kid needs to be around that. I feel like that is predatory territory. I agree. I don't think that little kids need to just throw it in front of their face. And apparently these parents feel
in
like
public,
that's something that they want to expose their children to.
It messes you up. If you're like 6 years old, why are you seeing a strap on it? Like, you shouldn't even be exposed to that. Like, you shouldn't even be thinking or seeing genitals of any sort or any sort of sexual behavior. Like, be a child. You're a child.
Yeah,
Like that's abuse. That's child abuse in my opinion.
I agree. There's pictures of like this little girl coming up to this guy who's in like a full on, I guess,
BDSM.
Yeah, BDSM like dog mask with like chains and black leather.
He's like naked.
And he's like face to face with this little girl. And that's just so disgusting and so wrong on so many levels.
Yeah, it's stirring up emotions and thoughts and feelings that these kids are far too young to rationalize or know. And even if you can literally tell your kid not to touch that stove. It's hot. They're going to touch it. Like, they can't comprehend this yet. They're not going to know what to do with these feelings. And then let's say
it's just inappropriate.
Some random person comes around and that's, like, you don't want your child to, like, be molested or taken advantage of, or a boy or a girl to push them too far than they're comfortable with. But they've already been acclimated to this type of visuals but like to take them to this festival where like everyone can come up and just show this inappropriateness to them is crazy, and it has nothing to do with the gay community.
I have to say, I was at LA Pride. I've been to LA Pride before, and you couldn't even use the porta potties without there being jizz on everything inside of the porta potties. Ugh. Like, it's
so unsanitary.
And
I'm not the germaphobe. Sorry.
I feel like at that point, like, I have nothing against LA Pride and Pride. I think it's like celebrate what you guys have, been able to come out to these days where you're more accepted and stuff. But like, why does it have to be made so sexual if there are children there? Like, why is it about sex? Why can't it just be about loving the other sex and like, or the same sex, I guess I should say. But it's turned into this over-sexualized event where there are people walking around jock straps with their asses out, and like it's so inappropriate for children to be there. Yeah. So I really feel like it needs to be made like 16 and up or like 18 and up or something. Like
definitely.
And you can't even buy alcohol till you're 21, but you can go see that kind of stuff.
That'll fuck you up more than alcohol,
right?
Yeah, I have a lot of gay lesbian friends that like are like, no, like we don't like that. It's people like that make us look bad.
Yes, I have a family member who's gay, and I don't see him at the pride parades with a strap on in front of kids. I think he'd be like, oh hell no, like, but
there's always
I just feel like
extremes in every category. So that's why we're
it's
trying
true.
to not say that this isn't about being gay or
no,
lesbian or straight.
It's about the kids for me, like especially now as a new mom, like
it's because they're so influential at this age and they're taking it all in. And I feel like there has been this like trend around the LGBTQ plus, forgive me if I say it wrong, I don't know what's been added, whatever. But like, it's this trend, it's like this trendy thing now to be a transgender. It's trendy to identify as a them or a they. Like, I have my nephew is dating, I doubt he listens to this, but he's dating a girl, he's in high school, and she identifies as a them or a they. And like, my brother and I were having a discussion around it, and like, her parents don't even know. And we asked him, we're like, okay, well, so then if she had a penis, would you like her? And he's like, well, no. Okay, so then you're not gay, but so you do like girls, but she's not a girl, she's a them. And basically my brother was kind of like, look, like this is the new like rebellious, like trendy kind of thing, like in high school. And I don't have a kid in high school, but I have nieces and nephews, and I have clients that have kids in high school. And it's not the first time that I've heard this or seen this. And that's why I think it being shoved and thrown in the kid's face is confusing to them. And I think that's why there's so much confusion in these children today, because it's pushed as almost like, well, if you don't like this, then you're mean and you're hateful and you're a bad person. But if you do like it, like, let's like, celebrate it because it's trendy and cool, and we're going to praise you and honor you for it. And there just shouldn't be any of that, It
just takes away from like, I think we've said this in a previous podcast, I feel like it just takes away from like the people who really struggled with all of this, and truly are gay or, whatever. And you've just got people just being like, well, that sounds good today, I'm going to do that, and it's just like, I just feel like it takes away from people who really truly struggled with it and are actually gay or, whatever. So I don't know. I think it's a very touchy subject because people do tend to like take what you say and get offended by it. And I have, like I said, no issue with a pride parade. I've been to them. I've supported that. I do support that, but I just draw the fucking line when you're dragging children that are too young to comprehend what they're seeing. Like if you wouldn't allow your child to go have sex with someone, why are they at a parade where there's someone with a strap-on dildo that they look up to?
Or like, are you gonna sit your kid down and like let him watch porn too? I mean,
yeah, like where do you draw the line?
Yeah,
like,
I feel like people are starting to think that that's like progressive or something to like have your child be exposed to
like
sexualization.
virtue
there was like a
signaling,
high
I
school
think.
teacher. I briefly read about this. There was a high school teacher who was like showing the kids porn. Yes, like,
oh my gosh,
just I can't.
I'm
I can't.
homeschooling my children.
Oh yeah, my kids will not be in public school. That's for damn sure. Probably not in California either.
Yikes, that's
Yeah.
rough.
I'm going somewhere where there's armed gunmen with security at their freaking school.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a sad thing. You haven't, well, I don't want to put it out there, but like, I feel like private schools haven't experienced that. And it's because they have people there that like, they lock the doors. Like they don't let people in the campuses. Like it's private, closed campuses.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know how we got there, but yes.
Yeah,
When we talk about the Texas school shooting,
Yeah.
everyone wants
I
to
mean,
hear my opinion on that, don't they?
they already know.
The Texas-
Exactly. That's why I was being sarcastic.
Oh. Wait, what do you mean? But
Guns.
Guns. Okay. I thought you were
The
talking about
school
the
shooting
kid.
at the
Or the
elementary school.
person. Yeah.
Wasn't the kid transgender?
Oh, I don't
I don't
I
know.
didn't hear that.
I'm
I
pretty
heard that he
positive
left a
he
note
was.
and stuff and was like,
Oh, how nice of him.
like, no, but like was planning it and like nobody said anything.
I don't know.
That's crazy.
I could only dig into that so far. I was so,
Upset by it?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, you guys good now. It was always sad and hard, but now that I have a kid, it's just, I was like literally in the car, just like bawling my eyes out, crying. Like,
Yeah.
I can't even imagine if something happened to my
fucking sad.
kid, you know? So, yes, I will do everything in my power to protect them and definitely have them in a school where there is armed security.
Yeah, I definitely would have been arrested because I would have been in
Oh.
that school. I would have taken one of the police officers' gun and went in there and got my damn kid.
Did
and
you
every
he-
other kid in
Well,
there.
that's what the guy
hear-
did.
Did you
Yeah.
hear how, like, one of the moms was arrested
Mhm.
because there was shooting that you can hear in the videos, and the cops were there, but they were saying, oh, we're not going to go in yet.
They were told not to.
Yes.
And Nick, my husband, who's a firefighter, he was like, that shit needs to change. He's like, they just need to
Absolutely.
rush in because it's never prevented any of the children from dying, but like waiting. Like there's no,
Yeah.
there's
So
no,
so I just talked to a CHP officer about this, a good family friend. So he fully understands like all the rules and everything around it. And basically he said, when there's an active shooter, you know, drill or situation, whatever, you go in and the second you see someone who has a gun, you just start shooting at them. That is the protocol. What they were saying was that there was no active shooting once they got there. So that's what they were saying. That's the way they said we didn't go in right away because there was no active shooting. However, there is people who have come forward with videos from their phones where the police are there and you can hear shots being fired in the background.
well, they took it on the chin, I guess, that the police or the sheriff's office there, they said, we fucked up.
They absolutely fucked up.
Yeah, they did. Anyways, that's a whole nother episode. Very sad. It's really,
Yeah.
really sad. But anyways, what do you guys think about all these topics? Pick one, pick all of them, comment. We'd love to hear your guys' opinions as well.
It was a heavy one.
That's the sad note
I
to
know.
end on.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
No, I mean,
bring up rough subjects, but
yeah.
that's one thing we always said we're going to do is
Yeah.
we're going to bring up things that are controversial. We may not all have the same views. You guys may not have the same views, and no one hates anyone. We all love each other. We can, you know, agree to disagree, respect each other's
Or learn
opinions,
from
views.
each other.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so
Or from you guys. You guys have actually written in and given us some really enlightening things in the comments, like that you've agreed or disagreed with us. And, you know, we sit back and we talk about it too. And we're like, oh, yeah, that's a good point, and this and that, you know, whatever. So thanks.
Thanks for listening, guys. We will catch you in the next episode. Bye.
bye, guys.